Good morning, this side Shruti from PT Tutorials Office Group. I welcome you all here at PT Tutorials. I'm again back with a new mock, that is the pending tasks of reading and listening listening module rather. In this mock, I'll be taking reading MCQs both types, listening MCQs both types, highlight correct summary, and select missing words. So best of luck, guys. And here is your very first question. Read the text and answer the question by selecting all the correct responses. More than one response is correct. This is from your reading module. You'll be given only 1 minute to get your answer. This is the first question for reading. Send your answers. Julian is saying A and B. Errol, C. Uday, B and D. Prabjot, A and C. Nidhi, B. Most of you are saying B. Showing the screen, answers are A and E. Please write down the answers on your copy so that when uh, this video will be uploaded on YouTube, you can check it. Second question, get ready. Give your answers. Kiran is saying A. Uday DC. AC. Upendra E. Mahdi is saying DC. Zainab A. Samir DC. See, in this question, negative marking is there. When you are not pretty sure about the two options, kindly mark only one option. Marking one incorrect option will give you minimum score, that is 0. Check the answer. Answers are B and D. One of you has opted B. Uh, Karnakar. Good, you got +1. Next question. Reading MCQ single answer. Read the text and answer the multiple choice question by selecting the correct response. Only one response will be correct. Time starts now. Give your answers. Yogesh C. Sufong C. Most of you are opting C. Let's check whether C is correct or not. Yes, C is the correct option. And this question, when you are not sure, still you have to mark one option because there is no negative marking and minimum score will be 0. So it will be the best thing that you mark any option when you are not aware of anything. You're not getting it. You're not getting the paragraph. Second question. Time starts now. Give me your answers. Srilekha is saying B for B. Yogesh B. Karnakar D. Bhavan D. Sameer B. SFA. So let's check the answers. Aparna B. Answer is A. Now listen to me. Reading section MCQs. We people think that we will be getting +1 mark only. Sri Lekha, this is mock. I cannot explain. Okay. The same question you may ask in the comment section of YouTube when it will be uploaded. There I will explain it. Okay. Just strategy I want to tell you, or why actually you have to take care of MCQs also. I have seen people, they are not at all worried about MCQs, whether it is the reading module or your listening module. But let me tell you one thing, you may get 2 to 4 questions. Earlier, people were getting only 2 to 3 questions in MCQs, but recently people are getting more questions in reading module, especially. 2 to 4 questions means maximum questions can be 4. Just assume that if in each question of reading MCQ multiple answer, 4 questions were there and 2 answers were correct. Minimum 2 will be correct. 2 4s are 8, 8 marks from one type of question. And 4 questions next for MCQ single answer plus 4. 8 plus 4, 12 marks you'll be getting from MCQ section of reading module. And the similar way, you will have the same 12 to 13, 14 marks for your listening module. 24, 25 marks you are getting from MCQs, and we think that this is just 1 mark task, so we will just practice. We will even not do the practice, and during the exam, I'll try to solve the question. I really don't understand this thing, that why people are thinking that if my aim is to get 79 plus, then for me, each and every question is important. And if you want to know the strategies for MCQs, both types, um, one type, sorry, negative marking questions of reading and listening module, PT Tutorials has uploaded one of the webinars on negative marking tasks. It is a superb webinar. Each and every strategy which is will be very helpful to find the answers, correct answers for MCQs. You can watch the webinar on PT Tutorials YouTube channel, and the name of the webinar is Negative Tasks, Negative Marking Criteria for PTE-A exam. So better watch that and get the strategies. And one of the strategies I have explained there, that was sometimes you may get some of the words in the options. The author have used the synonyms. You have also seen the same thing, that in some of these questions, that synonyms were used, or not the synonyms, meaning of the sentence written in option will be the same, but choice of words will be different. So be careful. Sometimes you find the correct words, but not the correct option. So be careful about these things. And I would suggest you to watch that webinar. That's really very wonderful webinar. Next, you have listening module. I play the audios. This is your listen to the recording, answer the question by selecting all the correct response. You will need to select more than one response. This is MCQ, multiple answer. Here is the audio.
Practice test 3, page 107, section 2. Multiple choice, choose multiple answers. Listen to the recording and answer the question by selecting all the correct responses. You will need to select more than one response. Recording A.
There are two main reasons why parents decide to educate their children at home. Either they dislike schools on principle however odd those principles might be, or they don't believe their local schools provide an adequate education or the right sort of education for their children. If someone decides to teach their child at home, either by themselves or by employing a teacher, they have to convince their local education authority, LEA, that the teaching provided is satisfactory. Schedules, lesson plans, and book lists must be shown, and it must also be demonstrated that the child is in fact learning, and that they have adequate opportunities for physical education and meeting other children. Furthermore, while there is no formal assessment, officers from the LEA will come and inspect what is being done and look at the child's exercise books. If they are not satisfied, they make out a school attendance order.
Most of you are opting A, B, A, D. Kiran, A, C, Nidhi, A, D. Confusion between A, C, A, D. Never mark three options if you are not pretty sure. Sammy is marking A and D. Julian, A and B. Srilekha, A and C. Sudhir, A, B. Erol. Samir, A, E, C. Okay. Shalini, A, D, B. Aparna, A and C. Vijnesh, A and D. Let's check the answers. Answers are A and D. Most of you were correct because you were opting A and D. Next question. Second question based on MCQ multiple answers. Here is the recording audio.
Recording C.
The earliest writers on politics, and I'm thinking of Plato and Aristotle here, felt free to draw insights from all areas of human knowledge, unlike modern academic writers who tend to put things into smaller and smaller compartments or focus more closely on one area of inquiry. For example, Plato would examine a whole political system and the philosophy that underlies it, whereas modern writers on politics might concentrate on one particular institution in that system, the House of Lords in England, or on voting patterns within a country. With this focus, the bigger questions that the ancients dealt with, what is the best form of government, or what is justice, tend to get left behind. Many writers on politics these days are university-based, and so have to have specialised interests. And while they may make new and interesting discoveries in their special field, it is at the loss of a broader perspective, not to mention the loss of a general audience or readership. In the 19th century, there were still writers who used the same freedom of inquiry as the ancients, and are all the more readable and relevant because of it.
Most of you are saying B and C. Sheetal. SF, C and E. Sheikh, B and C. Karnakar, B. Most of you are opting B. SF, C and E. A little bit change. Upendra, E. Sheetal, B and C. Nidhi, B and D. Bhavan, C. Venumad, CB. Anna, B and C. Uday, A and B. Let's check the answers. Srilekha, B and E. Answers are B and C. Sheikh is smiling and his answers are correct. Well done, Sheikh. Next question is MCQ single answer. Read the prompt. Here is the audio.
2.
For anthropologists and archaeologists, rock art is a kind of window into our ancestors' evolution, migration, and lifestyle. These insights that we get from rock art are highly valued by archaeologists because they complement the often scant information provided by excavated objects. It turns out that there are common themes in rock art between sites in Europe and caves where they have discovered rock art in China. In fact, some recurring motifs in rock art have been observed all over the world. It is truly remarkable that the hunter-gatherers of the Yunnan province in China left very similar creations to the Magdalenians, who lived nearly 9,000 kilometers away in Western Europe and thousands of years prior. Both feature outline images of human predators and prey, from bears and lions to stags, horses, and bulls. Now, both regions were inhabited by hunter-gatherers on similar terrain, but there's more to it than that. One thing that we think it might reflect, this similarity of rock art in these distant places, is that human beings are essentially the same in their thinking. So whether it's the ancient people of Europe or in Asia, they did things and drew things in very similar ways.
Kiran is saying B, Karnakar C, most of you are opting C, Venu B, Shalini C, Aparna C, Sammy C, Rokat, and both places depicted animals of interest to humans. Srilekha is also saying C, Sudhir is saying C, let's check. Julian is also saying C, let's check the answer. Gurpreet is saying B. Answer is C. Well done, most of you were correct. Second question on MCQ single answer. Read the prompt. Here is the audio.
2.
A further example of endangered species is the shark. Around 40 million sharks are killed each year. That's quite a lot. Consequently, the number of sharks is decreasing. So let's take a closer look at the causes of this. Firstly, in recent decades, sharks have become important. This is largely due to the growing popularity in some parts of the world for the consumption of shark. It has become a very valuable food source. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, well, lots of other fish like cod, salmon or tuna are caught for human consumption and they aren't disappearing at the same rate as sharks. Well, that's true, but the difference here is sharks are not able to repopulate or reproduce themselves quickly like the other types of fish that are commonly fished as a food source. Why? Because sharks are slow breeders. Sharks mature slowly and it takes them years to reach the age for egg production, and then they produce only a few eggs, so that means just a few new sharks. Humans have a 9-month pregnancy or gestation period, whereas some shark species are thought to have extremely long gestation periods, as long as 3 years. This makes them much more vulnerable and in danger of dying out than many other fish species.
Give your answers. Sundari is saying C. Gurpreet is saying C. Srilekha B. Kiran C. Venu B. Samir C. Yogesh B. Sandeep C. Don't take much time for listening questions, listening MCQs, because otherwise you'll be having less time to do rest of the questions, especially the last question right from dictation. Check the answer. Answer is C. And most of you have opted option number C and are correct. Let's move to the next question. This is highlight the correct summary. You will hear an audio. Click on the paragraph that best relates to the recording. Listen to the audio carefully and let me tell you one thing. These all are the repeated questions. From real exam, I have taken these questions. Here is the audio. Listen to the audio carefully.
You can get a good qualification in journalism, but what employers actually want is practical rather than theoretical knowledge. There's no substitute for creating real stories that have to be handed in by strict deadlines. So write for your school magazine. Then maybe try your hand at editing. Once you've done that for a while, start requesting internships in newspapers in the area. These are generally short-term and unpaid, but they're definitely worthwhile, since instead of providing you with money, they'll teach you the skills that every 21st century journalist has to have, like laying out articles, creating web pages, taking good digital pictures, and so on. Most reporters keep a copy of every story they've had published, from secondary school onwards. They're called cuttings, and you need them to get a job. Indeed, a few impressive ones can be the deciding factor in whether you're appointed or not. So start creating a portfolio now that will show off your developing talent.
Some are saying D, B, A. Variety is there. Venu D. Sheetal C, Uday B, Mahdi B, Aparna B, Sundari A, Sundari B, Sudhir A, Sagar is saying C, Sheikh is saying C. Who is giving two options here? Here you have to select only one option. You cannot even select more than one option. Samir, be careful. Sam is saying B. Let's check the answer. Answer is A. I really want to go back because from this question, you are not only getting listening score, but you are getting reading score too. Why you were opting B, C, and D? In B, one word is graduation. In C, one word is secondary school onwards. And the same kind of words are also used in option number D. I really don't actually need these kind of words in my summaries. And you have to select the best summary. Focus on the word best. No doubt, sometimes you will get the options. The same words were spoken by the speaker in the audio, but still I cannot take those words, those particular options as my best summary because I cannot add those words in summary. Summary means a story. Story means coherence must be there. And definitely you'll be selecting those words which will be making sense. Move to the next question. Be careful this time. Listen to the recording.
Hello again. Well, we're near the end of our unit on newspapers. I'm going to talk about our national paper, USA Today. Some of you might recognize it as the topic of this week's reading assignment. USA Today, is now more than 25 years old. When it began, few expected it would last this long. Well, Not only has it lasted, it has thrived. USA Today is the largest selling daily newspaper in America. It is also distributed in many countries around the world, but that's only part of the story. The real success of USA Today is the way it changed the newspaper industry. USA Today changed the way papers look. It changed the way reporters write. And it changed the way papers gather and deliver news. USA Today set out to be different. Newspapers at the time were in trouble. Fewer people were reading them. The papers were full of bad news about crime and killing. They had long stories. They didn't have color photos and
Kiran is saying B. Samir C. Sagar C. Archana C. Sagar is saying C. Bhavan is saying C. Uday C. Upendra C. SF C. Mahadi B. Kushal C. Sheetal C. And you know what? Let's check the answer. Answer is C. And you all, almost all are correct. Because here, completely the words were cohesive as well as coherent. Now you people got the point what actually you need to find in a summary. Next question, select missing words. You will hear a recording about an analysis of medical research findings. At the end of the recording, the last word or group of words has been replaced by a beep. Select the correct option of complete to complete the recording. Here is the audio. Be careful. Start listening to the audio from the beginning. Don't think that I will be more concentrated towards the audio when it will be ending. Okay? Here is the audio. Be careful.
Obviously, the real American Revolution is a lot more complex than that. It's more than a string of names and documents and battles. And as a matter of fact, in many ways, the American Revolution wasn't just a war. If you went back to the mid-18th century, went back to the period of the Revolution, or maybe just after it, and you asked people how they understood what was happening, many of them would tell you that the war was actually only a minor part of the
Most of you are saying option number D. Everyone even. Very good. Let's check the answer. Answer is D. D for dog. Last question of today's webinar on select missing words. You people are doing great. Here is the audio for this question.
Our oceans are really very well travelled on the surface, but in terms of the deep sea, it's probably the one area of our planet that hasn't been explored. The first visit by a human to the ocean floor was in 1960 when the US Navy sent a vehicle to the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean. Anyway, what exactly do we know about the deep sea? Well, we define it as 200 meters below the surface of the ocean, and around that point, sunlight begins to disappear and temperatures begin to drop. 1,000 meters and beyond, there's complete darkness, very little oxygen, and pressures that are 1,000 times greater than at the Earth's surface. However, somehow it's full of life. Life that has a huge effect on our own lives because half of the oxygen we breathe is generated by living things in the ocean. So in the future, scientists are going to try and find out more about
C, B, C, B. Nidhi is saying C. Now variation is there. Could you tell me what were the last few words of the speaker? Anyone? No? Check the answer. Answer is C. She was asking you one question in the end. Yes, provides oxygen and all. Karagar is very happy. Yes, you people were good in listening section. Work hard on highlighting the correct summary because if you select incorrect option, no doubt there is no negative marking in these two question types. Highlight correct summary and select missing word. But see, in highlighting the correct summary, it is an integrated task, so penalty is double. Reading module score will also decrease. Karnakar is asking, I'm fully suffering with writing. Karnakar, I suppose you will be suffering with reading writing blanks. Work hard on reading writing blanks. Just one tip for reading writing blanks. You should be aware of three things. Number one is your grammar rules. Number two, usage of collocations. And number three, understanding of the paragraph. And if you need the right guidance from the right tutor, I would suggest to you actually to join PT tutorials coaching, online coaching. Best way to improve the strategies to improve your scores. Vijnesh, what should a fresher start with? Okay, fresher. First of all, the base that you have to actually generate for Pearson exam, that base is you should be 100% correct in your speaking module. It doesn't mean that 100% correct means at least 90 marks should be there in fluency and 70 marks plus should be in pronunciation. If it is there, then move to the next question types. Parvinder, I just explained that for reading Phillips, if you are suffering, you have to work on three things: collocations, grammar, and understanding of the paragraph. Sheetal is saying, how much time should we spend on each reading question? Not more than 1 minute. In reading writing blanks, you may spend 1 minute, 15, 20 seconds, but because this question is an integrated question, so we'll be getting the scores for writing also. So if you select incorrect option, you will not get the credit for two modules, not for one module. So a bit you can take more time for, sorry, you can take more time for reading writing blanks as compared to other question types. And on MCQs, never ever spend more than 1 minute. Repeat sentences. I explained the strategies for repeat sentences also in the last webinar. It was about question and answer webinar of Pearson exam. Watch that webinar. You will also get the recordings. And there are so many webinars on almost each and every task of Pearson exam on PT Tutorials YouTube channel. Subscribe the channel so that you may get each and every notification and you may get all the audios, videos of important tasks, important queries, important questions. What would be the topics I should concentrate on? First of all, you should concentrate on all the integrated tasks. Integrated tasks are read alouds, repeat sentences, answer short questions, read a lecture, reading writing blanks, summarize written text, then your highlight correct summary, summarize spoken text, write from dictation, listening, fill in the blanks. all the integrated tasks. Someone is asking, Samir is asking rather, study all PT tutorial, I can have high score. See Samir, one question before I answer your query. Could you tell me this thing that after attempting 100 questions, 100 next question, you will be attempting correct? If for practicing those 1,000 questions, Samir, if you were aware of the strategies and the number of times you have marked incorrect option, and now next time when you are practicing, you know the reason why I have opted incorrect and why this is the correct option. Then if you have explained that why to yourself, then I would say yes. If you study each and every question form from PT Tutorials website app, then you will get high score. But you should be explaining each and everything to yourself that why this is the correct answer. And for that, strategies to be known is important. Shal is asking, is that correct that by ignore MC, MQ and MCSA, also we can get 79 plus if others are 100% correct? Yes, you may get, because see, this paper is percentile based, and for integrated tasks, for most of the questions, just like highlight correct summary, listening fill in the blanks, write from dictation, summarize written text, read alouds, reading writing blanks, for these question types, you people are not aware how much score you are getting for the hidden module. If the question is its level is a bit difficult one, definitely they would have set already in the software that for this particular question the wording is difficult one, so they would increase the weight of that task. Sometimes you get very easy questions, easy words and read alouds. I'm pretty sure that at that time you may get good score for reading module from read alouds, but its weight will be less on reading module. And when you get 4 questions on summarized written text, means so much marks you are getting for your reading module. People are getting 77, 76 in reading. Rest of the scores enabling skills are almost 80 plus. It means you haven't selected good, important and required keywords in summarized written text. And the questions were 4. Numbers increased. Definitely the weight of that task would increase. Kindly work overall, and for that I would suggest you never go here and there. Find the best tutor. PT tutorials have PT certified trainers. Take coaching from the good trainers and you will definitely enhance your scores. Now I'm going to end this webinar. I hope it was helpful for you all, and you can watch the recording of this. Karnakar is asking, yes, these questions are repeated ones. The questions, the audios I have played. You can watch the recording of the session on YouTube. Till evening it will be uploaded. Take care. Bye-bye.